I didn't become financially free because I just started making huge amounts of money. I became financially free because I created a plan for every dollar that I had. Then I became intentional about making extra money to speed up the process. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact steps on how I created my debt payoff plan. So the first step in my debt payoff plan was writing down every single bill, every single debt that I owe, every single thing on paper. Once I did that, I wrote down the due dates and the balance payoff. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that total was very uncomfortable, but I could not create a plan around numbers that I was afraid to look at. Step 2 was just actually building a realistic budget. When I say realistic budget, I'm saying get your total monthly income. Even if you make if you have a side hustle, side business, but get your total income and you want to start subtracting all of your monthly expenses from that. Not only your bills and your home essential type things, but you want to write down everything. To me, everything is if you get your nails done, if you get your hair done, budget everything in as far as beauty, personal care, spending, going out to eat. You want to add all of those things. So that's what I mean when I say create a realistic budget. So I had to create a realistic budget. Now, I'm not going to lie, the first month or two, I was very, very strict. I was very, very strict on my budget. It wasn't until I got a little bit more comfortable with budgeting. Mind you, this was my first time ever budgeting at all, so I had to get used to just the whole idea of writing things down on paper, and no one taught me that. No one taught me that whatsoever. So when you take the time and you sit down to write a realistic budget, make sure you are writing out everything that you do. If you have children, I had a son, so I would include his haircuts and those type of things into my budget along with my hair. Well, my hair, I do my own hair. So bottom line is create a realistic budget. And that's what I did. I created a realistic budget. Okay. So step number 3, I actually decided how I was going to pay off debt, right? So because I followed Dave Ramsey, his method is, I think he gives two methods, but it was the avalanche method. And then there was the snowball method, is the method where you take the smallest debt that you have and pay it off as quickly as you can. So, and what this does is give you the momentum of okay, I paid off something and now you want to go on to your next. So once you make that small payment, if that payment was, let's just say it was $25. So say that payment for that particular debt was $25 a month. You will not put that money somewhere else, but you would take that $25 that you were paying on the debt that you just paid off, and you will put it towards the next smallest debt, right? And then you just keep going. It's a snowball method of paying your debt off. So then the avalanche method, I believe that's the name. Hopefully that's the name of it. But the avalanche method is you take the highest interest debt that you have. If you have a credit card that's a really high interest, you will take that and you will pay that off first, because that will ultimately let you pay less because of the interest or whatnot. So there's 2 methods. The method that I chose was the snowball method, right? That was the only way that I can kind of see it. I needed momentum. So I needed that motivation. I needed the momentum. So with me paying off the smallest debt, then I'm bam, I paid off that one. Now I'm going to go to the next one, right? Once you find the method that you want, stick to it, because it's going to be comfortable for you. And that way you be more successful, right, on your debt-free journey. So step 4, now you want to create more money. So my budget was only the baseline to tell me and to guide me of what I need to do, what I need to pay, those sort of things. It gave me a guideline of my monthly overall budget, right? Now that I created an extra income, I'm throwing that money, writing my budget out every week. And y'all, when I say I was so intense about paying off debt, I would literally like look at my budget probably like 2 to 3 times a week. A week, until I got the momentum and I got comfortable, maybe like month 3 or something. I would say maybe once every week or whatever, but that first month, that second month, I was looking at my budget multiple times a week, right? So now, like I said, I created this extra income. So now I'm just throwing this money at like my next debt and my next debt and my next debt, because I'm getting intense. I'm like, I got the momentum, I got the motivation going. So like I said, I just got creative throughout my whole debt-free journey. I was creative. I don't really know like how many times where I can say like, I was just like fed up, like, this is not the way of life. This is not how I want to live. And I wanted to give up. I never really got to that point, but like I said before, if you get to that point to where you're like, this is not life. I want to go outside. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, just think of the ultimate goal. Think of that financial freedom, okay? Think of that financial freedom, because I'm telling you, it's one of the best things that I have done. Besides having my son, it's like one of the best things that I could have ever done with my life. All right, so moving on. By month 3, I was on a roll. I knew exactly like where my money was going. This was before payday even hit. I knew exactly like where my money was going. Okay, I'm making $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $1,000 going here, $1,000 going there, $1,500 going here. Like, I knew exactly how much each category of my budget was going. So before your payday even hits your bank account, y'all, make sure you have a plan for that money. This is how you're going to be successful on this debt payoff plan. Make sure you know exactly where your money is going, because at the end of the month, when you do your recap and you're looking over your budget, you don't have a question about like, okay, well, my check was this, that, but where did the money go? It's gonna be all there written down, right? So, like I said, know exactly where your money is going. Step 6 is tracking your progress. You want to track your progress. And for me, I got creative, right? I used to make like little coloring things, right? So I don't have an example right here with me in front of me, but I'm going to show you this right here. So what this is like, if you can see, there's like fine lines in there. The side right here, there is like lines where you can put like your amount and the payoff amount. You can put it right there. And then as you're paying it off, you can color in. So I had like a mason jar. I actually wish I had it. I'm going to try to insert something. I promise. I'm going to try to insert a picture or something. So, but I got creative, like with as I'm paying off things. I had one for student loan. I had one for car payoff. And I think it was one other. I think I had 3 different ones, but I just got creative. And each time I would my debt was going down, I would just like color in. So it would look like kind of colorful and everything. So just kind of get creative when it comes to paying off and tracking your progress. Even if you have to write, once you're paying off your debt and you have to write it on a little Post-it and post it up, just write your new balance on there. That is so motivational. And you may think it's the smallest thing or whatever, but it just keeps the momentum. It keeps the motivation because you can actually see your debt going down visually. You know in the back of your head that it's going down, but when you get creative and get colorful and do all those things, you actually can see it. So just tracking those smaller wins, it kind of reminded me that the plan was actually working. So number 7, you want to protect yourself from small setbacks. What I mean by this is you want to have a small emergency buffer. I'm going to tell you that in your debt payoff plan, in your debt-free journey, gonna come up with unexpected things throughout the month, right? So that it won't ruin your entire monthly budget, you want to have like some type of small buffer. So I want to tell you a story. When I was on my first start of my debt-free journey, Dave Ramsey and the crew, they were all coming into town, right? Where he was going to be performing at was at a church in maybe about an hour away from my house, right? So mind you, I had never been on this toll road before, and I wasn't sure, but on my directions, that was the only way that I can go according to my directions. So I end up getting on the toll lane. Mind you, it was only for about two stops, maybe not even 2 miles, right? Lo and behold, I end up getting a freaking toll ticket. I believe that ticket was about $80 to $85. When I tell you, I was so crushed at the fact that I had to figure out a way. I'm already got my monthly budget written down. Everything is where it's supposed to be, right? I know how much money I'm getting in. I know how much money is going here, there. Now I got this unexpected bill, and I mean, $85, you would think like, okay, not really a big deal. But in the time that I started my debt-free journey, I didn't have that extra money anywhere. By the grace of God, my son's aunt, she lived in the city where where Dave Ramsey was, right? And I told her, I called her up, and I'm like, I got this ticket, whatever. Sure enough, she had a fast track toll lane thing, and she added my car. She's like, send me your license plate, this and this and that, because I think I was even crying. But that's how upset I was. So she got my information. She added my car to the freaking account. Do you know, I did not have to pay for that ticket. Thank God. So you might not get lucky like I did. And when you get these unexpected expenses, so have a buffer, have an emergency fund. Start off with $100, build it up to $500. Just have a small little buffer, because when you're trying to do something positive, look at me, I was going to see Dave Ramsey. And when you're trying to do something positive, it's going to come up. All right. And another thing that I stayed away from creating new debt. I stayed in the house. I was not going out. I wasn't going out to be even tempted to purchase clothes and things like that. So I tried my best to stay away from department store credit cards, any new debt. I will go into a store. Hey, they offer you, do you want to sign up for a card? You'll get this and this. And nope. Before they even finish. Nope. So you do want to avoid creating new debt. Just to recap on those steps, right? You want to first list every debt. That's number 1. Number 2, you want to calculate your monthly breathing room. Number 3, you want to choose how you're going to pay off your debt. That was either the snowball method or the avalanche method. Number 4, find a way to create more money. And number 5, schedule your payments before payday. Like I said, know exactly where your money is going before it hits the bank account, all right? So I'm just going to say this. You do not need this perfect amount of money to start paying off debt. You just need to be realistic. Be very realistic about your budget. Have a plan. Be disciplined. And just make sure you have a decision on where every single dollar is going. My journey started with me facing the numbers and taking one step at a time. And if you ever need help organizing your own reset, my money mindset workbook is in the link down below. This is day 11 of my journey from debt to freedom. See you guys in the next one.